You know, I've always noticed after a movie wins Best Picture, that director, usually their next project, the studio just gives them all the funding they need. They're like, hey, you just won Best Picture. You do your own project. We trust you. Sometimes those movies are good and sometimes they're bad. So after Bong Joon Ho did Parasite, we all were like, what are you doing next? Mickey 17 stars Robert Pattinson and is about Mickey 17, known as an expendable, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. From director Bong Joon Ho, the man that brought you Parasite, which is a fantastic movie, also a Best Picture winner. He also did a movie called Snowpiercer, which I really enjoy, but now we are talking his brand new film, Mickey 17. So this movie was delayed a whole year. It was supposed to come out last year, and all of us were very disappointed because we wanted to see his next film after Parasite because that movie is just so good. So now I got to see it today in IMAX, and I'm here to tell you that Bong Joon Ho continues his streak of making a good movie, making a movie that is entertaining while also delivering messages and themes throughout the movie. But we'll get to some of the issues because I will say this movie's not perfect, but it is a good movie. So, of course, starting with the positives is Robert Pattinson. He plays Mickey 17 and 18 in this movie because he's two characters of the same person. Because in this movie, his character is basically just being cloned every single day. He is capitalism because in this entire ship, they have to have diseases be tested. They have to go outside and see if there's anything wrong with the air. He's the person that goes and dies, figures it out, and they just get a new clone, basically. Now, the thing is, Mickey 17 lives and accidentally get Mickey 18 uploaded, so now there's two of them. And then hijinks ensued. But like I said, this is a Bong Joon Ho movie, so there's more to it. Robert Pattinson, fantastic. I mean, he truly is one of the best actors working today. The voice he does as Mickey 17 is like a nerd, but coward. But he's just like what he sounds like in real life. Like, that's not Robert Pattinson. Like, that's not him. And Mickey 18, low-key, when he first talks, he sounds like his version of the Batman. Like, a little bit. If you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But he's fantastic. You have a good around cast. There's one performance we'll get to that is not a big positive, but like you got Yeun in here, who I love. The girl from Blink Twice is the love interest in this movie. I forget her name, but she is really good in this movie. She got one really awesome scene. I do wish there was more relationship stuff between these two. All they do is just have a lot of sex, whatever, and there's like, oh, they're a couple, but I wish there was more actual like connection that we could grow with. But then you got like Toni Collette in this movie, who I really like in this movie, sometimes over the top, but she balances it perfectly. Not like her co-star, we'll get to it, but overall I feel like the cast really just felt engage in this story, this sci-fi dark comedy that sometimes is a little wacky, dramatic, and like I said, it's Bong Joon Ho. His direction is very well done. He does go in the wackiness. Again, we'll get to the negative, but I can say really well that he made a great looking movie. I got to see it in IMAX today. It looks fantastic. The production value, the cinematography, the music, the CGI was really good, especially when there's two Robert Pattinsons. There was like one frame. I was like, all right, I can tell there's something happening because there's two of them. But most of the time I was like, how the hell did y'all get his shadow like on him when he's like hugging him and everything and they're fighting? It's like, damn, it's really well done. So I gotta give it to Bong Joon Ho, the cinematographer, and just the entire crew made a really good movie. And I will say, the third act is awesome. There is literally like a good 50 minutes of this movie. I'm like, this is exactly what I want this movie to be. Because when the first trailer came out, it was like, oh, it's kind of wacky comedy. Like, none of us expected that. We were all like, oh, a serious movie, sci-fi. But no, it's wacky. There was 1 hour. It worked perfectly with the dramatic beats, the comedy, the over top, but also being serious. Like, the third act is just perfect. And the movie does deal with, like, colonization, because on this ice planet, there is these, like, alien animal things that basically are very important to the plot, and I thought that was the most intriguing plot line. That was more intriguing to me than there being two Robert Pattinsons, which was intriguing because now we're getting to more of like my mixed stuff, which is like dealing with like colonization, I thought worked really well. And I know this is something that he's done multiple times in his movies. I know the one movie on Netflix, which I have not seen, dealt with that. But for this movie particularly, when you're dealing with religion, a leader, how social media and how people see their leader, that all goes to Mark Ruffalo. I did not like Mark Ruffalo in this movie. I'm sorry. And for people who live in America and you're watching this movie, you can tell who he's trying to replicate, okay? I don't need to say it because I don't want people to get mad at me in the comments just by saying this person's name. But you see Mark Ruffalo's performance, you can kind of tell who he's being a character of, and I thought he was just stupid in this movie. I thought he was too corny. It was just really, really stupid and in your face, and like for the first 30 minutes, because this movie has like 30 minutes before the title's shown up, there's a lot of narrating happening, and it deals with like Robert Pattinson's character showing off the 17 Mickeys and all the stuff that's happening on Earth, why he goes up on the spaceship, all that stuff. But the narration never lets this movie breathe. So for the first hour, I was just annoyed and bored, honestly, because again, you're dealing with a lot of themes in this movie, and Mark Ruffalo is a huge portion of that, like, entirety of what's going on, that I just really sat there and I thought, like, you know, there could have been a more tighter script. There could have been more of a cleaner way of, like, showing off what you want to say, but giving you an entertaining story for general audiences. Because again, I just found the movie to sometimes be in your face, morally in that first hour, especially the first 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I wasn't liking what I was liking. I was just watching. I was like, yeah, this narrating's not working for me. This comedy's not working. Everything's moving a little too fast. The movie's not giving it to breathe. Like this world, it was like 2054. I never got to feel this world, and I really wanted to explore more because you can tell like a lot of hard work went into making this movie, but this movie never gave its time to really show that off because they're like, hey, capitalism, religion, because there's one scene where Mark Ruffalo and it involves praying. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing. I see why you're trying to be funny, but that just seems ignorant. Like, it just seems stupid, and I just didn't like it. And again, I'm not a person that's all like touchy-touchy. I don't give a fuck sometimes. But the thing is, this movie just feels like it's trying to say something when you really didn't need to say anything. But overall, besides Mark Ruffalo and being in your face for the first hour, like I said, that third act was awesome. I was like, everything is balancing, it's funny, it's entertaining. Throughout the entire movie, it looks beautiful. Again, all the performances are very good, except for Mark Ruffalo. I thought he was very stupid. But again, I would say this is a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's a great movie. It's a good movie with some issues. I'm going to give Mickey 17 a B-. Go see this movie. Honestly, give it a shot because you know what? It was really cool to see this kind of movie just in IMAX, you know? Not a sequel, not a remake, not a reboot. Yes, it's based off a book, but it just felt so fresh seeing something just different than what we usually get in movies. Like, you gotta respect the independent movies, the smaller movies, and I gotta give it to Warner Brothers for giving this movie its budget and allowing it. Hopefully it does well at box office, but we shall see. Anyway, guys enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.